Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This is a collective support reading. So, just to note that this is a very new channel. It's only a couple months old, but I've only been more regularly posting recently. And it has been such a fun, juicy, and delicious journey with spirit and with all of you to figure out. Actually, I'm not even figuring it out. It's unfurling in front of me how these readings show up, what wants to show up, and what's it's just I'm happy you're with me for this moment. So this collective reading, it makes so much sense because within it are echoes of the divine feminine reading I did, also the divine masculine reading I did, and also the Ascension support reading. We have a couple of the same cards, which is such a fun way. So the collective readings will be kind of this snapshot, and then these offshoots will dive deeper into the themes that arise, both for, individual feminine masculine or twin flame, or just a general specific narrative or a theme or a block. So I am in service to source, I am in service to the collective, and it's just really exciting to see how this is unfurling, and I'm so grateful to share it with all of you. So that was my little side shoot there. Excuse me. Okay, so again, we're getting the theme that the feminines had around this is not a time to build. This is a time to rest, relax, recuperate, receive. This is a time of protected. That's very important that we protect this space and time so that we can integrate all the things that we have learned. This is not a time to jump into new projects. This is not a time to call on spirit to create, or call on, whoever to create. By taking this intentional pause, this is what will concentrate the wisdom. Or let me say it in a different way. This will concentrate the knowledge into wisdom so that we can take intentional aligned steps so that we can narrow our focus, hone in on our individual truth and our individual soul purpose, so that we can take steps and inject our life force into moments that will be successful. By taking this time out, we are setting ourselves up for this success. Okay. Okay, let's just jump right into the homework that is showing up for the collective. There is some sort of heartache and loss. And this could also show up as, it doesn't have to be just a breakup or, a dissolution of a union. It could also be any sort of dissolution of something that we were attached to. Could be a job, could be, we got our hopes up and we wanted to live in a certain place. We wanted to do certain kinds of work with certain kinds of people. Whatever shows up for you as this heartache and loss, it is time to lean on your spiritual strength. You have all of the tools within you. You have all of the practices within you to come into this intentional, conscious intuition to escort you into this harmonious existence with consciousness. Side note, something else that's really exciting for me on this journey is that these are really intense readings. These aren't light and fluffy readings. These aren't really they're not soulmate cycle readings in a fluffy way. They're not fairy tale readings. They're not hyper love story readings, or, they're not like you're going to get a ton of money tomorrow or you're going to fall in love tomorrow. They're not that. And I just love that what is showing up are messages of such profound quality. This means to me, sorry, I'm grinning ear to ear right now because this is so exciting, because I've done this work by myself for a very long time. Yes, beautiful people and mentors have crossed my path and, have danced with me for a little bit, but I have pretty much been doing this work by myself for a couple decades. And we have never been at this place in consciousness where we are all sustaining such a high level of pristine. It's funny, my brain confused pristine and prestigious, and those are perfect. Both are applicable here. This is high level work, and it's just mirroring back to me the quality of people showing up and the quality of work that you are all doing, that we are all doing behind closed doors within the sacred space of our own hearts. This is just so exciting. I actually just got full body chills, and a huge part of this collective I'm reading for, they're also in service, which I have not ever experienced this quality of a collective. And again, that could be general collective, which I can only hope for, right? And hold that vision. But also it could be the beautiful souls that have shown up, that are viewing this message right now. I'm getting teary-eyed because I have always felt that I was a healer of healers. And so it just warms my heart and fills my heart that we're at a stage in the planet where so much of us, so many of us are taking radical accountability and responsibility for our own path so that we can go out in the world and light up the grid, right? We do this work, we breathe as one, but the people that have been walking this path forever and been doing this work since maybe even incarnation and maybe lifetimes before, it's like our effect on collective consciousness is profound. Excuse me, sorry, I'm just deeply moved by this. And I think many of you will resonate with most. Sorry, I'm cracking up I'm just in awe of how far we've come. And most of you will probably resonate that either periods of time or the entire time we do this work in isolation. We are the, unconventional friend in our friend group. We are the weird ones in our family, the black sheep, the whatever. And there's just so many of us now, and we are reaching that critical mass of consciousness where we can actually tip the scale, right? It's so beautiful. And I will get back to the reading. I just had to touch on that because we're really doing it, is the moral of the story. We're actually pulling this off. And I'm just so touched that there's so many of us. Okay. All right. Whew. Let's get back to it. So yeah, it's been established that the people I'm reading for are other healers. So it makes sense that we are held to a higher standard because we are given, the master level work to confront, to take accountability for. So we are going over, I think I said this in another reading, we are going over our work, how we show up within ourselves with a fine-tooth comb. We are, this makes a lot of sense because we have a new moon. There's a lot of astrological things happening. I'm not that person to tell you what's going on. I have a very small finger on the pulse of that stuff, but I listen to a few people. And so there's a lot of planetary shifts happening. And the big thing I keep receiving is that this is like a peak time to take accountability for what's left. You have come so far. You have done so much shadow work. You have taken such massive responsibility to bear the weight consciously and consensually on your own shoulders so that we can quantum leap as a collective to be in even deeper alignment, to be in greater service to the collective. You are on the precipice. We all are. We are on the precipice of living in a world where our skills that we have taken so long to collect and cultivate, they are about to shine. They are about to get a seat at the table. But there are some other sticky parts left. So when I say that, what comes up for you? It's time to face your fear of whatever is left that we are attached to. We are what we think, right? So it's time to clean up our thoughts, clean up our internal spaces. For me, I like when I heard that message of, okay, let's take stock of what we still feel a little wobbly about. Me and one of my best friends, he's just my consciousness BFF, and something we say to each other are like, what are your wobbly legs? What is left for you that when you think about it, you don't really want to go near it? What's left in the shadows? What's scary to you? Because those are the things that we can actually take massive movement on with this new moon coming. So just take stock of what's left. For me, if I'm sharing and being vulnerable, I have a lot of wounds around body stuff, both externally and internally. I've dealt with back pain for the major since I was a little kid, and I've held a lot of pain in this vessel in this lifetime. So something for me that is a little sticky is my relationship with my body and practices that are rooted in caretaking my body, both like nutrition and that kind of stuff, but also movement and physical ability, things like that. I just not that long ago, last year I think actually, I finished my master's in consciousness studies and transpersonal psychology. And my lead main teacher there, professor, had this great quote. She says, our mind is in our body and our body is in the world. And that's so important while we do this consciousness work to ground in that awareness, because so much of this work takes us up and out of our body, right? We're connecting with source, we're deciphering all these energies we're feeling, we are unblending from what is self and what is other. We're doing this work day in and day out. And it's so important to remember that the physical vessel is the grand stage that can facilitate all of this profound work. But if that vessel, if that stage isn't, cleaned up and in working order and have, paid the electricity bill so the lights stay on and all these things, then we can't actually do this work to the best of our abilities. So I don't know specifically why I shared that personal, wound for me, but I think it's also, I'm assuming it's a greater message for the collective that the work is going to get more intense, right? Because we've expanded so we can hold more. So it now more than ever, it's imperative that we take care of our vessel. This is the vessel that houses this grand dance, this grand coming home to self, returning home to self, this grand dance of housing non-dual existence in this very dual vessel, right? Excuse me. Okay, we can go so many places. There's a lot coming in. Let me hop to the unconscious. So again, taking us back to the primary message of this spread is that we are honoring the sacred time of rest. We are grounding and concentrating all of this yummy consciousness juice, God juice, whatever you want to call it. And we are just steeping, like a tea bag steeps in hot water, and what happens, right? The flavor gets richer. We are steeping our souls in this vessel to become richer, more embodied, more bold versions of self. I mean, how beautiful is that? Okay, so in the unconscious, during this time of rest, maybe we have pushed away pursuing pleasures. Maybe we've pushed away something we love. Oops, sorry, I knocked the camera. A message I'm getting here specifically for this might be for someone is adventures, travel, um, stepping into the unknown of pleasure and what that means for you. So maybe ask yourself where in your life are you pushing away these things that that delight your senses, that feel so delicious to your nervous system. Where are you pushing away your passions? Also, this came up yesterday in the Ascension reading, I believe. Where are you? It's time to clean up any pieces of self or any parts of self that still believe that your dreams aren't possible. What's left? What's left? Where it's time to also clean up and convince the parts of you that feel that this has to be hard. What's also pushed into the unconscious is the path of least resistance. So, where in your life did you pick up that this has to be hard? Where in your life did you usually it's our family of origin, right? In our first 7 years of life, we pick up all of these ingrained patterns, and then we spend the rest of our lives unraveling all of them and trying to understand why we acted or reacted the way we did. And why do we do that? Because we want to come into more grounding, so that instead of reacting, we could actually respond from a grounded place, from an aligned, consensual place. Okay, I'm going to leave the unconscious alone. Okay, so we got this card, the Divine Matrix, and it's interconnectedness, synchronicity, and gut incidents. Wait, I say it wrong every time. Gut incidences. Instead of coincidences, it's gut incidences. That's a tongue twister. Yeah. In this delightful, pleasurable moment in time where we are taking this sacred, deep pause, where we are resting, where we are receiving something that it is our birthright to also receive, are these synchronicities, are these divine moments where the universe is speaking to you. The more magic you invite in and that you accept in your hearts, the more magic that actually shows up. And in the beginning, I don't think the collective I'm speaking to is I don't think you guys are at beginner level of, unpacking synchronicities, but I'm going to say it anyway just in case there's some of you here. It could feel really silly in the beginning when you're like, "Oh, I just thought of that song and now the song is playing at this store," and you might not really click it together, and you might convince yourself that it's all nonsense and that, oh, this song is played everywhere. Well, it's up to you to inject life force and meaning. It is up to you to invest your energetic currency in that experience. If you flag that experience as meaningful to you, then you are telling the universe that this is the language I want to use. So speak to me in this language. You have much more power than you think you do. It's you who constructs the relationship. And then the divine's like, cool. You want to speak in colors? I'll show you this blue umbrella or this red flower over and over again until you get it. So again, just shifting the power and sovereignty back to self, because again, you have much more control over over the relationship you have with the infinite than you thought. Okay, we also received the Heart of Source, which is such a beautiful card, and the Central Sun. I mean, come on. We are receiving massive illumination, right? We are receiving massive love, massive light. We are receiving a map to the infinite. We are receiving a map to collective infinite oneness. This feeling, it might show up as a feeling. It could show up as a direct route that you're supposed to take. Either way, what's also showing up is almost this like guaranteed success. And I talked about this with my friend yesterday of like, it gets to be this easy and you know you're succeeding when things just start showing up. When you know, three friends message you and all of a sudden they're all talking about the same thing or they're giving you all the same feedback. That's, you know, that's like the divine screaming at us, right? Okay. Yep, abundance downloads, right? Okay, what's left? Syncing up with the universe. Yeah, going back to a little bit of the homework piece is that in order to solve a problem, we have to first admit and acknowledge that it's even there. And I just cringed when I said problem, or spirit made me cringe a little bit. These things aren't problems, they are sacred parts of self, right? Our shadows, our fears, our sacred little bits of our journey here. They're little homework assignments from the divine that once done, once completed, will gift us with such profound awareness. And it never fails that once you overcome, once you go in, what's that Jungian quote? Once you, the treasure you seek is in the cave you fear to enter. You know, once you actually bite the bullet and confront the thing, it's never as bad as you thought it was. And the divine puzzle piece you get, oh my God, illuminates the whole picture. And all of a sudden you could see more and you're able to, or this is why we're able to quantum jump, right? We can jump much further than we ever were able to before. Right, yes, this truth transcends illusion. We are being called to surrender, to take a leap of faith and allow spirit to guide us and to let the soul and let the desire, let your chakras shine, let your the truth of how you feel in your body, bringing it back to body and embodiment, to let the truth of what your body is telling you, sometimes screaming at you, to actually believe it and use it to inform your next steps. That's another reason why the body is so important. Think of it like a barometer or a tuning fork to, no, that's not a good example. A barometer to tell you where you're out of whack, of where, you know, which area of life you need to lean into. To be honest, I'm not getting a specific chakra energy anatomy reading off of this. It's equally colorful. It's equally, we go from root to to crown, divine illumination. So this is actually a beautiful message in it of itself, because what is that telling us? It's telling us that we have been playing this instrument of the self in such a way that we have access to every level of awareness within self, right? We are, it's not saying that we're all balanced in every area. It's saying that we have access, which is step one, right? To even be able to see the thing and name the thing is the open door for us to walk through and do the work around the thing, right? Okay, let me feel into if there's anything else. Yeah, there's this kind of soft part that I'm feeling. Um, we receive the Holy Grail in the unconscious. The Holy Grail, this inner discovery, this ability to find sacredness in the world around us. That to know that we are actually already what we seek. So for me, that means that we, again, there's a little bit of disbelief still stuck in our system. And to me, that is very much a third chakra, right? Our self esteem, our solar plexus. Sorry, I'm trying to get the card, but everything's falling. Forgive me. This is the card. Yeah, there's, the more I look at this card, the more I feel that maybe some of us still are are dealing with lack of faith in this outpouring, abundant, divine force. Like, look at this Holy Grail. It's just overflowing. And in the background we have the oh, it's gonna bother me. What are the concentric circles called? The oh, it's escaping me, but you can look up that symbol. And it's, to me, that also the Holy Grail in twin flame culture. I love that I called it twin flame culture. I've never called it that before. Is also the Holy Grail symbolizes the womb. The womb, the chalice part, the cup part symbolizes the womb, and the stem of the grail is symbolizes, it's a phallic symbol. It symbolizes the masculine energy, and the Holy Grail is this divine inner union. So I didn't think it would go here, but maybe there is a part of the collective that really doesn't believe that this divine union can drop into 3D reality. If that's the case, honor those feelings, maybe even journal about, because if that idea is still stuck in the system, there's still a little bit more healing to do. So, have a lot of grace for yourself, because even me talking about this might bring up some pain, some residual old wounds, or grief, resentment, whatever comes up, and just give it space to breathe. Okay, is there anything else? I guess I'll just end by reading these Buddha Divine Masculine cards. Okay. What a beautiful reading, by the way. I'm just standing in the glow of it. Okay, the wind cannot shake a mountain. Neither praise nor blame moves the wise man. It is better to do nothing than to do what is wrong, for whatever you do to self. That is a lovely point to end on. How do we heal the world? We heal self. What we do to self, we do to other, because there is no other. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for investing a little bit of your presence into me, into my channel, into this mission. I am so grateful for you showing up and the work that you do within self and in your little bit of the universe. Sending you so much love. Thank you.